I'm that girl who has a confession, even though I know that everyone's at their own pace and level of their awakening. And I can fully respect and trust that and, have my balance and neutral. When we're at a protest and people are walking past me with masks on, I suddenly discovered that being a troll is probably one of my true callings. And I didn't like it because I knew I should have behaved better. And so I'll just quickly say this before I do this channeling about microwave food, which we've been requested for. So I'm sort of feeling like I'm just using you as my confessional for you to realize that in the heat of the moment, we can get carried away with ourselves. And I am definitely no stranger for still learning how to apply the information myself. So intellectually, we know everything that we hear in sessions, and we can be very stable and balanced with that and accepting of that. And so as I was with a whole lot of other people in my community who were going to then walk to be able to show solidarity together and unity together, to show each other and to show the parliament who they were walking towards, that they are not going anywhere and that this is something that they want to be respected upon, as everyone is sharing their reactions, physical reactions to the medical choices that our government is enforcing on people. So I know it's totally a hot topic. So sorry, I'm not trying to trigger anyone, but I'm trying to confess and be able to be accountable for my own behavior and actions, which was me standing. So a whole lot of people were still coming in through this big area to get to our beautiful big art gallery. And so they were quite oblivious to the events that were going on as a little rally to get everyone excited about seeing that there were so many like-minded people and hearing testimonies from many doctors and patients and a whole lot of truth being shared so freely and so lovingly and so bravely. So I'm feeling really emotional because I just feel this connection, this community, and I just feel so honored that we're there representing our own families, representing our own children and our choices, and making it feel normal for other people to see others without masks on, and being very open and respectful for people's journeys who have been damaged. And there's way too many stories about people having severe reactions to this whole agenda, which we know is to awaken humanity to other agendas that are going on at a very intensive rate. So what I started catching myself doing was when these people were walking past me, the first time I saw it, I just thought, wake up. And I said it to myself. And then I just was observing their behavior, and I could feel them very suddenly quite uncomfortable with these thousands of people all together, listening to someone sharing big truths. And they are quite oblivious to the fact that they just stumbled across all of us. And so they've got their masks on and they're just walking towards that gallery. And you could see them in quite sort of, oh my God, I'll just keep walking. This is so awkward and uncomfortable for them, because they're really the only ones that are donning the masks. So I said to myself that judgment of, just wake up already. And then, so I just thought, yeah, I'm so emotionally charged with this. It's, I need to still find a little bit of balance because I should be, applying what we hear. And then I saw a whole lot of other people starting to come, and, we're all respecting the speakers and what they're having to say and what they're having to share. And these people are just walking past and not acknowledging anything. And so then I started speaking out loud, wake up, time to wake up now. And it is judgment. And I'm trying my best to try and help them stop and just stop for a second on this beautiful day and look at this person that we're all facing, that you're avoiding, and listen to their journey, listen to their experiences, because it's real. Their experiences are real and heartfelt and genuine, and they're not standing up in front of thousands of people telling everyone their really courageous experience and really heartbreaking journey. Even though we know it's all purposeful, just give them this minute of acknowledgement and just be open. And they just were completely not open at all. They just little lemmings going to the art gallery. And of course, that sounds completely judgmental. That sounds horrible. And so the third time that I didn't control myself was a group of people, and they were kind of a little bit more sort of annoyed that people were here and all this sort of stuff. And, you know, they were like muttering to themselves about like, oh yeah, how can this be done in public? You know, this is a menace to society, blah, 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 blah. And I just spoke a little bit louder this time and said the same thing. It is time to wake up now. And I repeated it. And there's a lot of noise here. And so it's not me just, you know, pointing and screaming at these people, but I couldn't hold back. And this one woman actually heard me, because they're not that far away from me. She actually heard me, and she was so shocked that I had spoken to her and said, time to wake up now. Because in my very judgmental opinion, it is time. It is time. And so I realized my emotions were getting very heightened. I could feel all of the energy of everyone around us. And I could also feel all of these eyes on these people walking in front of us with their masks on, oblivious of the day, oblivious of the content, oblivious of the information, just to go to an art show. And I love the arts, obviously. I'm a huge, passionate person who just finds art this beautiful other language. And I could fully respect what they were doing, but I just thought, you've got an opportunity to stop and just listen for one person for a few minutes, because what we're hearing today is very hard to come by when you're really censored and when you're really limited and trusting one source. In our country, our prime minister has told everyone to trust them as our one source of truth. And this is what they've been saying for all this time: trust us as the one source of truth. And this is what they repetitively said: don't trust anything else. We are the professionals, and we will give you the most, the most honest, biggest information possible about the situation that is going on here for our country. And trust us, we are professionals, and trust us because we know science and all this stuff. And it was just an interesting experience, but I just knew I was not capable of finding my emotional balance, because I just felt very, not overwhelmed, but I just felt like this is not kind of me to do this, and this is judgment. And I actually just need to have some space to be able to just get my bearings, get my manners back, and just sort of ground myself. And I think I was disconnected from grounding myself. So, you know, I was on concrete when I was standing. So now there's a whole lot of other things I'm sort of noticing, not to excuse my bad behavior. And I only got a glance from someone who was quite shocked that I said that to her, but there was no scene or anything like that. My partner didn't go, oh my gosh, you're embarrassing us and the kids. There was nothing like that. It wasn't a big scream. But it was a very intentional statement that I wanted them to stop and think. Anyway, so yeah, it doesn't actually feel good to speak my truth with this, because it was coming from a really emotional space. And my desire and wish for them to awaken is super selfish, super self-indulgent. I want them to wake up so then they can be all just as frustrated and shocked and uncomfortable with the narrative as everyone else. And so I respect those who are sleeping, because I think it must be quite nice for them to just be afraid of something that they know that's out there, but they're doing all the measurements, trusting the professionals, trusting the science, and being protected that way. So I can imagine some great beauty in that, and they probably have, from their perspective, great inner peace, knowing that they're protecting themselves with masks and inoculations and all that stuff. So again, I'm working through this, and I certainly wouldn't normally be a heckler to someone. And, you know, I know better, and I don't know. I just wanted to share that because I want to be accountable, that I know that in the heat of the moment with emotions going, I can definitely dip into that pool of 3D and react with emotions and be a jerk. And it's true, I would like them to wake up, but that may not be their life contract. And that's really harmful for them potentially to feel that there is some woman with children recommending to wake up now. And so anyway, I'm sure I'm going to catch myself better next time. This is my first protest. Normally I work in the weekends when there have been these protests. So this was the first opportunity that we could get to do it. And I just felt this big, strong movement, this big, strong unity. And we didn't, because of the I think it's like 2Ks or something like that, the protest march. I would have loved to have done it. I think I just would have cried the whole time for pride. And just being there and just being accountable for my feelings and wanting to have this be acknowledged, that not everyone is buying into it, and we can still respect each other. We should still be able to respect each other's choices. And so me being a jerk today and not respecting someone's choices to wear a mask is just, you know, I'm going to get better at it. So anyway, this is my first experience. We didn't go to we just went to the rally. We didn't go to the protest march because it was really a lot of people, and it would have been just way too long for our little children who are, you know, still 3 and 5. So anyway, just wanted to share with you it's so easy to say all this information and understand it, and then it is somewhat extra level challenging to apply it to our daily experiences. So okay, and so I had a request for something that I've also been thinking about often in the past, but not so much now. And so it's about microwaves and the food, and if it's really good for us and our bodies. And for some reason, we do have a microwave, but I've never wanted to use it for actual food apart from microwave popcorn. But I guess if you're going to consume microwave popcorn, you already have thrown nutrition and common sense out of the window, because that tastes so good, you know it can't be healthy. And so anyway, it's very, very artificial and fantastic at the same time. And that's how we get hooked into it. Anyway, so sometimes we'd use the microwave to heat plates, and that's about it. So I've always had this weird feeling about the microwaves, and I would like to understand it myself. So I think it's a really good question. So sorry for me so self-indulgently asking them about it. And as we know, when I'm channeling, they're giving me the senses of the words, so I don't hear them whispering in my ears to say what they want me to say. They give me these, I feel like it's formulated sort of impulses of words, and then I try to, no, it's meaning, and so I try to translate it into words. I'm all a fumble because I just feel I can forgive myself, I can forgive my choices, and I can realize that I'm still quite emotionally heated by this and the events and what's going on for the country. So I'm not going to say sorry for being still human. I'm celebrating that I'm still human. and learning and growing all the time. So anyway, I'm just going to check in with them and ask about the microwave foods and if it is actually harmful for us or if it's healthy. Okay. And as soon as we connect in with her, we're laughing to make sure she realizes it's all good. It is all good. You were supposed to trigger them because they were not stopping. They were not stopping. They were not stopping, and they have not stopped, and they needed to stop and listen because it was their guides guiding them to be there at that time. And this is a relief for the vehicle because while she tries to pretend that she's cool to be a troll, she does not actually want to have that demeanor because it is not healthy. She doesn't view it as being socially responsible, and she wants to be in that neutral and balance and respect all. And so she is having some inner work processes, but we want her to know and remind her that there was many people that did walk past that did wear masks. And the 3 times that she made those comments, even though one was under her breath, those 2 times needed to have the impact for purpose. And so it was an arrangement, it was a contract to have with each other. She needed to speak her truth without getting angry and without crying. And her words came with sincerity. It is time to wake up now. It is time to wake up now. And we say this with so much love. And we are only saying it to those who actually have the life contracts to wake up in this 3D. We are not judging. We are merely reading your life contracts and knowing what needs to be done and said. And so she can relax knowing she was of service. And we understand sometimes when you're of service, you must trigger someone. You must make them stop and think for just that brief second because they are so distracted with following the narratives. They have lost their own composure. They have lost their own way. And we are doing everything and anything we can do to be able to get their attention, to start questioning. Because as soon as you start questioning, you get then the access of your free will to start noticing the answers. And as soon as you start having questions and you pose questions to us, even if you think in your mind, what is the question to this? We always will give you the answers, but are you listening? Are you stopping and noticing and sensing in our responses and replies? It's a teachable moment for everyone, and this is why we enjoy the vehicle being so honest with her interactions and her life, so you all can grow from it. And so the microwave question is a valid one, but it is almost a prompt so she would get back in front of the screen again to share and converse with you. So we do want to say that, yes, the intuition of the food that has been prepared in the microwave, it is against the natural elements of the body. And so your body is comprised of certain elements: air, water, electrical currents, cellular memory. There is much there, but there is not any true that is in the radiation form. And so that frequency is a foreign body. And so while the meat can be correctly cooked in the scene, a statement of a cooked meat product, so it's not raw, it can successfully transition a raw product into a cooked product that is correct. But there are many ways that you could do that also. But the question is it good for the body? Is it good for the body to have this process? And we're saying the cooking of food really should be conceived and understood as a removal of any surface bacteria. There's something cooked so heavily through a cooked steak, for example, is so dense, you cannot naturally break down that contracted muscle. It has to stay in the body for so long for it to be naturally broken down. The enzymes in your stomach, we are balancing the vehicle's gut bacteria right now. So she is experiencing some physical experiences. Pardon us while we allow her to get back into comfort. In preference, from our perspective, for your bodies, fresh, raw food. If you have food that has maybe been left longer and needs to just be seared on the edges and heated up to kill any bacteria, that is advisable. But cooking meat in a well-cooked capacity actually destroys quite a lot of that nutrition that your body has been seeking for. And as you know, many of your bodies are changing at such rapid rates that you are almost thinking, I have forgotten to eat, and I am just picking at things small amounts. And so as you're raising your frequency vibrations by drinking more of the water, your natural appetite is going down. This was a beautiful gift for you to flood all of your cells in completion, where you are not craving for more fluids. But many people who are not aware of this, the necessity and the demands and the requirements for the body having the water, they misconfuse thirst for hunger. And so therefore they are seeking more food, which then actually makes them more dehydrated. And so there is much to be said about the foods that you're eating, but you are not truly able to break down as well as you would raw food. And all of the natural the natural product of the raw food, whether it's vegetables or whether it is fruit, and the meats, which we say is not, it's the fats that are more prevalent and more required for the body, just like how the salts are very important for the bodies too. But if you have paid attention to what you've been directed into understanding for the body, salt is bad and sugar is good and endorsed and put on everything. And from our perspective, salt is fantastic. Salt is the soul. It's food for the soul. In many ways, because it actually uplifts your vibration, as it is feeding cells. Your tears are salty, and there's truly nothing sweet about your bodies apart from your sweet tooth and your cravings. And so when you're adding in this sweetness, you're putting everything out of alignment, including your gut bacteria. We are seeing if there is anything more we need to add to this. But we think you have heard this before, and therefore you can understand it. It is not the radiation that is the problem with the microwaved food. It is the intensity of the cooking of that food that is not then giving you the nutritional benefits and balances that your body does need. Really hasn't been the case for a long time. As your bodies are upgrading at a profound and rapid rate, we encourage those all to continue on drinking and blessing your foods with high intentions, honoring your body, loving self. That's the key to all. We say this with so much love. We understand that many of you are worried of other agendas that are hiding around the corner in your kitchen, ready to pop out. And we say, you can trust all is well. These are great questions to have. But if you can be more in alignment and in tune with the body and what feels good for the body, your behaviors and what you consume in the body, all beautiful lessons for you to explore and learn and grow from. And we say this with so much love. All right. Yes. We have heard that before, haven't we, about raw is best. So intriguing. Okay, my friends, I hope that this was helpful, and I'll listen back to it so I can hear it for myself properly. I just know that there was a lot of tears in that one. So often it's not because they are sad or upset for us. It's more that they're just constantly trying to pour this profound high frequency love, which is so beautiful, but it's quite intense at the same time. So it just flows out as acceptance and releasing. There was one other thing I just quickly wanted to say, which I remembered about, and this is about our mindsets again. And if we have kind of given up and we're not striving to master the third dimension, to then jump in and have that great attitude of go get you, we're going to do this, 5D is going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. If we're just done and exhausted, don't have any joy for here, we don't have any joy for the fifth dimension and what that experience is going to be, the clients that I have had about this, they will go to source. And so if you're worried about going to source and maybe not then going to New Earth or going to a home planet, just see where your mindset is, because if you've kind of given up here, and it's a choice and there's not a judgment, but if you're not wanting to be of service and make an effort in your own personal life to grow, then it's kind of like you keep telling your guides, you're just done. And you're not wanting to step up and to have those new opportunities. And so some of you, if you are feeling like, oh, that's definitely me, I feel very done, you've probably already made that choice to then go back to source. And that's completely fine. It's a resting place. There's nothing wrong with that. It sounds really lovely to be connected back to source. But I just wanted to let people know, if you don't want to go to source and you want to start looking forward to how this all unfolds in the 3D and looking forward to what it's going to be like on the new earth or doing other projects, and continually keeping your consciousness in either in a light body, like a crystalline body, to go to the new earth or go to a different planet. It just seems like, for whatever reason this morning, they wanted me to remind people, if you are showing you're not interested in growth, then that is a clear a statement to your teams of where you will go after the shift. And so I know people will be like, well, how, I'm sick of here, I just want to be over there. And it seems like we still have to kind of master certain things to be able to get there, which is high frequency vibrations and a whole lot of other stuff. So I might just have to listen back to what I just said and feel into that sort of message for us to be able to clarify better. But I just wanted to get it out, because I just feel like when I don't share certain things, it's kind of like they keep reminding me and poking me and prodding me to get it out. So I just want to say that, and then hopefully I'll remember to express it or maybe channel what they're wanting us to hear about that. So anyway, we know that source is a fantastic place, and all options where we go after the shift is truly, it's truly wonderful, and it's going to be perfect for each and every one of us where we want to go. So I don't know why I shared that, but I did. So it's all purposeful. We can trust that. Anyway, I love you guys, and continue on having a fantastic weekend.